In this video, we're going to see that when you copy and paste from another website or document, you should still let your Joomla template do the formatting on your page. Hey there, Joomla fans. Tim Davis here. I'm a Joomla fan too. Thanks for tuning in to Watch Me Work a Lot. No, Maintenance Monday, number 186, here on the Basic Joomla Tutorials YouTube channel. All right, so I'm going to show you an example of a site that I'm working on. We're converting it from a static HTML site with Flash on it, and we're moving the content over to Joomla, and there's like only 8 pages or 9 pages. So instead of doing some kind of crazy import HTML to Joomla, I'm just going to copy and paste. So I'm not taking content from a site that I shouldn't be taking it from, but there's some key principles and things to keep in mind when you're doing that. So let's turn our attention to the screen right now. Today's video is brought to you by mysites.guru. Head on over to mysites.guru. Get a free site audit for your Joomla site, and while you're there, check out all the information and tools that will save you time and money on one or multiple Joomla sites. And if you decide to subscribe, use the coupon code BASICJoomla, and you'll get your first month free. Okay, so here's the site of my client. They have a site that had a header that had Flash in it. We're converting it over into Joomla. I have a very basic Joomla install open here, and this is the default editor. I'm going to show you another way to do this with a different editor later on as well. So hey, here's the content we want. I say, hey, let's just select what we want to move over, right click and copy, and now we'll just paste it in this test paste article. When I go Control V on my keyboard, I get this pasted over, and at first glance it's like, woohoo, look at this. We already have the formatting and everything. It's orange. That looks pretty good. Heck, let's just save that and we'll preview it on the site. And it's like, yeah, okay, that's cool. We got some formatting there. Of course, this is just a plain template, but I'm going to do that later on. We'll fix that up for the client. However, let me just show you something. Back here in the where we've pasted, if we view the source code for this page, you will see mixed in here, there's a bunch of code, bunch of CSS that's controlling how these things look. For instance, here's one right here. We've got span color, and then ED7C27. That's the orange. Font family, Arial, Helvetica, Sans Serif, font size large, and then mission statement. So that's why mission statement appears orange over here. Now, you may look at this when you're copying and pasting and say, oh, that's great, that saves me doing things. However, if you want things to be consistent with all your other Joomla content that's being affected by the template of your Joomla site, you do not want that CSS in there, because if you ever change your template later on, let's say you're not using orange in your site anymore, this is going to be orange, and you're going to have to manually go through and change it page by page and find these instances, which is a lot easier to do when you're converting a site than later on when the site's converted and you're doing lots. So one thing that you can do here is this. You go to the source code and you just go through, all right, I'll just take out all of this strong, and I'm going to take out the strong, and right there in the large, and okay, and the strong. Oh, and then look here, there's a closing strong tag. Oh, a closing span tag. Oh my goodness, you're just hunting peck. It's a hassle. So what you want to do is this. Well, here's one thing you can do. Let's just delete all of this, and I'm just showing you right now the core editor in Joomla. If we go to this paste as text button and we turn that on, we see paste is now in plain text mode. Contents will now be pasted as plain text. So you toggle this off. Okay. We can now go Control V, and look, what we copied before is now just pasted as plain text. When we look at the code here, we see all we have are paragraph marks, paragraph tags, and line break tags. That's all. Now, on one hand, it's like, yeah, boo-hoo, we don't have the nice formatting that we had. But now you can go through and say, oh, mission statement. Select it, go to paragraph. I want that to be heading 2. And you can go future expandability. Go up here, paragraph 2. Now you might say, well, yeah, that's kind of boring and ugly though. Exactly. Now what you're going to do is change the CSS, but not on this page, but for your whole template in Joomla. You're going to say, I want heading 2 to be a certain size, a certain font, a certain color, and then that will be applied everywhere on your site. So when you're moving stuff over, now a pro tip coming up on a different way to do this with a different editor or a different program. But just keep in mind, when you're copying and pasting from a document into a Joomla article, like could be a Word document, and that has all kinds of crazy code in as well, paste as text. And you will therefore have something, did we save that? There we go. There you will therefore have something that's a little bit easier to work with together with your template. Look, see, mission statement already nice and bigger. And there's some other things that we have to do. Now, some pro tips about this. First of all, when you paste as text, you lose links, all right? Hyperlinks. So notice here we've got, please visit the security solutions, and that's a link to an old page. So if you're going to go through and update links by where they appear, that would be gone. So watch out for things like that. But when you're copying content over, it's far easier just to rebuild the formatting and the links just as you're pasting from somewhere else and then doing it another way. However, here, let me show you how to do if you wanted to save some of that formatting, you could do this. Go to, so I'm going to go to System, Global Configuration, and I'm going to change the default editor to JCE Editor, and I'm using the Pro version of JCE Editor. And what that does is when we go to the content that's on this page here, to test paste, check this out. First of all, I'm going to Control A and delete all that. We'll go back here and we're going to select all that text again. All right, copy, and we will just paste this with its formatting. Now in JCE Editor Pro, when you click on code, you have an editor that colors the code and highlights it and also gives you a search and replace tool. So for instance, down here we have a link to the security page, ahref Maggar monitoring security.htm. So if later on you wanted to go back and you wanted that link there, but you were going to change it to what the new one is in a Joomla site, you might not want to remove that. So what you can do is just hunt and peck and find and replace the things you don't want in here. All right, so for instance, here's a span style equals color, ED7, C27, font, family, Arial, blah, 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 right? So we're going to right click after selecting that, copy and paste it in the search. Now we've seen it that's been highlighted twice, but up here we can replace in one go or we can replace all, and we've gotten rid of it. Oh, but look, here's something similar, only the font size was small. So we can copy that and go up here and search for that, and it's in 2 places. Now we're going to replace with, we could put something in there to replace it with, but we just want it removed, so we leave that blank. And we refresh and we go back and look and say, oh, okay, this is getting a little bit better. I can live with that. And yeah, I do want this to be bold, and yeah, we'll keep it that way. Now that's using strong, and that works. So no worries, we'll hang on to that. We like the link, and you can live with that the way, and later on, we'll just save this. And now, when we go to the home page and refresh, we still get things sort of like that. Now notice, mission statement, we took the size out, so you still have to go back and do things like select heading 2. Oh, heading 2, that looks good now too. Save that and refresh, and then you start to get along. So whether you wipe it all out and start from scratch or hunt and peck, just remember that when you copy content from maybe it's an email or a document or from another website or another web page, do it so that your Joomla template is handling the formatting, not the code that you're copying over, and don't do a lot of CSS code inside of your article. Let your Joomla template handle that formatting, and you'll find it much easier. You're going to save yourself time down the road. So I hope that was helpful for you. If it was, please subscribe to the channel. And you know the drill. Ring the bell to get notifications. And YouTube thinks there's some other things that you should watch next. They're popping up on the screen around here. That would be great. Please do so. Until the next time, enjoy your Joomla sites, and God bless.